My name's Matt, and this is Adam, and welcome
Hi.
to Stuff That You Hate Talking to Your IT Guy About. We created a show because obviously we're all quarantined, and we wanted to help businesses that have a not great relationship with their IT guy answer some questions without feeling condescended to. Is that a right word, Adam?
I like it.
Yeah, not condescended to. So we created a show that we could just talk about very basic things. Now, if you're a business owner and you know the answer to this, go to our next episode. But in case you don't, this is the layman's version of technology. What we see is a lot of companies sign up with us thousands and thousands of dollars per month just for us to take care of their infrastructure, and they don't even want to talk about it. They don't know what they're buying. They're just putting their trust in us. And what we want to do is use one of our our underlying principles of like transparency to say, why don't we show you all the secrets to the sauce, and then you can press your own IT company for those questions that might be important. And if you don't get the right answers, you come back to us and we'll create an episode about it. I think that's the long version. Does that make sense, Adam?
That does make sense.
So I think what we should do is we should start with the very basic understanding of what is in a computer.
Mm.
And Adam and I have kind of talked about this concept before the show about what is in a computer. And for some reason, I always get stuck in the metaphor of spinning plates. I just think it's a very tactile example. And before we go on, Adam has 20 years of experience in the IT field, right?
Mhm.
Um,
That's correct.
do you
Since
have like a
'99.
bunch of certifications, or you just have a lot of experience?
No, a lot of certifications. Ran my own IT firm for 10 years. Yeah, so 21 years of experience.
So
It's a
you
little bit.
are capable of being a lead tech in any managed care company, people that manage an IT environment.
That's very kind of you to say.
But that is true, right?
Yes,
And you could be
100%.
somebody's IT dude if you wanted to be.
I have been an IT director in the past, yes.
Gotcha. So so I want to start with the very basics, and my hope is that you're a very nurturing person, so they'll get to see the nurturing you. I'm just good at like pulling out information. I know nothing very much. So we said plate spinning. So we're gonna say a computer is me wanting to spin plates. Okay.
Okay.
So first and foremost, you have the brain, right? The brain goes, "I'd like to spin plates."
Mm.
In a PC, what would that be in a computer?
So that would be the CPU, the central processing unit.
Gotcha.
It's the
So the
brain.
CPU is the brain. It has the thought, I'd like to spin plates. And we've talked about this a little bit before. I always say like the power supply is like the food, yum, yum, yum. Because I always think the power supply is important, but you've kind of told me privately, that's my dryer going off. You've kind of told me privately. I mean, I'm not going to, like, we're not in a studio. It's
Right.
COVID time. We're
Yeah.
stuck at home. This is all there is, guys.
Mm.
This is my dryer. All right, anyway. So, I mean, they're lucky there's no cats. So, um, the power supply makes the brain work, and that's where you get your food. Yum yum yum. And there are computers that, if you need a better stuff to going on, I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves. You would need a bigger power supply. Is that right?
That's correct.
Right. So we're going to say power supply is the food. Brain goes, I'd like to spin plates, right? And then you need a hard drive. Now, hard drive is ultimately where all the information about the plates is, where the plates are, what the plates are. It's stored in a hard drive. Isn't it like a cabinet, right?
Yeah, yeah. If the plates are the programs and the files, they're all stored in a cabinet, and that's your hard
And
drive.
why is it important to have a good or bad hard drive?
Well, in this day and age, people want to do multiple things at once. And so the hard drive is, since that's where everything's stored, we want a fast way to get back and forth. Get into the cabinet, grab some plates, start spinning them,
I love when you
right?
stick with my metaphor.
Yeah,
Get those plates out.
that's right.
Are the cups in there? Maybe it's stored in the hard drive. And so
We're
if you
spinning
have a
plates.
weak hard drive or a small hard drive, two things I would think are true. You can't do a lot of stuff because there's not a lot of stuff in there, and it's also slow coming out. What? Like,
Correct.
I want to spin plates. They're in the hard drive. I'm gonna get a plate.
Right.
We'll get a. Is that right? in theory.
Right. Maybe there's only one door to the cabinet, but if we get a cabinet that's got four doors, we can pull four plates out at once.
Got it. And
Right.
then, of course, if a hard drive doesn't work, you say, "Oh, my hard drive crashed." You lost all your how to do anythings.
That's when all the china falls on the floor. That's you
Gotcha.
just
Now,
everything's broken.
what I do get confused with is the hard drive and storage. Or is that what hard drive is for
That
storage?
yeah, it's essentially the same. The storage is a measurement of how big is the cabinet? How many plates can we store? Is it 10 plates or 100?
Gotcha. And you could add storage in. You could add storage on to your hard drive and make your hard drive bigger if you want. It doesn't
Yeah,
change the brain, but it
tip,
adds.
right. Typically we just bring in a whole new cabinet.
Gotcha. Okay, so that said, then you like, I want to spin a lot of plates at once. I
Right.
have access to the data of the plates, but I want to spin it at
Mhm.
once, and that's when you get into RAM. Is that right?
Right. Most people hear memory is what we talk about.
Gotcha.
Random access memory.
So I need
And
more
that's
memory, and I would need that so I can do more things at once.
right, which is what people want to do. They maybe get multiple monitors, so they want multiple
Email,
right,
watch Netflix. I'm just kidding. I don't do that at work. And then do different things. And RAM
right,
gives me to do that. If I don't have a lot of RAM, I can only do one. I can only spin one plate at a time.
correct.
I can spin one plate really fast. But if I get RAM, I can spin many, many
Multi,
plates.
right,
And then there's a video graphics card. And that I always think about is the glasses. Because you
right.
can't see the plates very fast.
Right, because we want to see everything.
Right.
We want to see the whole picture.
See the whole picture. So we're spinning. So I put the video card on. Now I can see everything going fast. If I don't have a
Right,
good video card, I can't see the plates. They drop. I can't pull them out fast. Everything's slow.
right,
And I liken computers to be like plumbing in that if you have pipes, you're only as fast as your smallest pipe will slow the water down. So in any of the things that we just outlined, doing a basic computer, if any of those things are slow, the computer will run slow in any capacity, depending on the amount of tasks that you're doing.
correct.
Also, I think it's correct that video cards are typically more necessary when you're playing video games or doing video editing or AutoCAD. Is that right?
Yes. You typically when you do something that's graphic intensive, you'll want a dedicated video card. Like you mentioned, gaming or high-end graphics, video editing, so forth. But if somebody's just doing regular office type work, spreadsheets, documents, QuickBooks, things of that nature, you can probably get away with that one.
Gotcha. So most people come with the standard video card and they're good.
Yep, that is correct.
And so I think we've talked about all the components, right, of a regular computer. You got the
Hmm.
power supply that powers the brain, which is the CPU.
Right,
And the more dense and complex CPU, the more quicker it can do tasks and think of
right.
things and stuff. And then you have the hard drive where you store all the information. And then you have the RAM, which allows you to do multiple things at once. And then
Yep,
you have the video card, which really processes the visual to your monitor fast.
correct.
And if you've got like state of the art of all of those, you got like super fast machine.
Hmm.
But a lot of times, like if a baller comes in, they're like, I want the best machine ever. Unless they're doing gaming or video editing, it doesn't matter.
It tends to be overkill.
And most people do video games on a video console because it's very good at just display and accessing this one software a lot. Is that
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I would even say that, a lot of times people think, well, maybe if I spend more money, I can get the computer will last longer. And they don't. They all last about the same.
What's the average, do you think?
3 to 5 years.
3 to 5. And then
Yeah.
people go, but I was just so it's like a death in the family. Like it was just talk. It was just the other night. It was
Yeah.
just so good. And is your
Right.
experience that when something goes bad, it's better to just replace all of it than like try to get it? Oh, I got to buy a new hard drive.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's almost like a car. Cars get to a certain age and then you replace the alternator and then the transmission goes out. And, in my experience, people just want to do their job. They just want to be productive. And it's frustrating when stuff breaks down. So what I found in my experience is is I want to solve everything. and a newer computer just makes people happier in the long run.
All right. Well, I think this is it. We just talked about a computer. We talked about it. Very simple. Let's do another one about a different one. I really want to talk on our next one about servers.
Cool.
The
I
difference
love it.
between laptop and servers. So I'll go change my shirt and we'll do it again. So I looked like a different day. All right. See you.
All
Thanks.
right. Thanks, Matt.
Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.